All right, shalom, shalom. Giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. All right, double honor to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone who rule well and worthy to be accounted. Double honors for teaching me this truth. And peace and salutations to all you all came out there preaching this truth throughout the four corners of the earth with truth and sincerity in your hearts and for the love of the gospel. All right, this is the brother Shamar Yah from GMS Gary, Indiana, coming at you with another lesson. All right, today this lesson is going to be about Doomsday preppers, as you see before you on the screen. All right, because you got certain individuals out here that has knowledge of the end of the world. They can foresee it. They know that the world is coming to an end. They don't know what to expect after that, but they just feel it. All right, you know, it's just a feeling. So they take precautionary measures. All right, to stock up on food and shelter and things like that. But man, you know what? The Lord is going to have it where the men of the Lord stumble upon their victuals. All right, I feel that through the spirit. You know, brothers been saying it for years, man. You know, but the lesson not going to be about that. The lesson is going to be about who are the real doomsday preppers, man. Because honestly, the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai are the real doomsday preppers and those that believe in his name. All right. Now here I have a definition of doomsday prepper, and I'm going to get some scriptures to back this up. It says a popular term for a person preparing for the end of the world, unique in their beliefs, motivations, and strategies. Preppers go to any lengths to make sure that they are prepared for any life's uncertainties. All right, let me, because this definition is epic, but it's not referring to it in the spiritual sense. So I'm gonna get some scriptures to back this up spiritually. All right, so to let you know that prophets are the real doomsday preppers, those that prepare for the doomsday. Now, what is doomsday? All right, that's what I'm gonna get first. What is doomsday exactly? All right, I'm gonna get it with scriptures. First, I'm gonna get Jeremiah 30, of course, the day of Jacob's trouble. And the day of Jacob's trouble is just all out madness, man. All right, Jeremiah 30 and 7. For it says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." All right, so he shall be saved out of it. It's talking about the ones that believed on his name. All right, the ones that believe on the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, those are the ones that are going to be saved out of it. All right, but what is the day of Jacob's trouble, man? That's the day when the end time prophecy start to speak and affect everyone. All right, the book of Revelation says the temptation shall come upon all the world to try them. All right. So it's going to come upon everybody. Everybody's going to be affected by the major end time prophecies, which is what? World War III. All right, so the martial law. All right, and the forcibly implication of the mark of the beast. All right, these are the major prophecies, and all of this is tied into the day of Jacob's trouble. All right, but in that day, it says the none is like it. None is like it means that it is the only day. That's going to be the worst day on the face of the earth since the earth was created. All right. Going to the book of Zephaniah 1 and 15. Zephaniah 1. I want to start at 12. 14, 15 is the point. Actually, let me get straight to the point. I don't want to get too off topic. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14. It says, "The great day of the Lord is near. It is near. The hastening greatly." It says, and hasteneth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. All right, so that's not a good day. It's going to be a very bad day. All right, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. Their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. All right, so this is a very evil day coming. All right, and it's actually known as the wrath of the Lord, man. All right, or the Lord's dark day, the dark day of the Lord. That's when he's coming to get his vengeance upon everyone that didn't believe on him, everyone that scoffed him, everyone that walked contrary unto him. He's going to come back and get his revenge, man. All right, and this is what the prophets have to look forward to, because it says what the righteous shall revenge, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance coming. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. All right. So that's the dark and evil day, the day of the Lord, when the clouds are darkened and there's trouble in the land. It says what? Day of wasteness and desolation, the day of darkness and gloominess. That's the day of doom. Doomsday preppers. I keep saying preppers. Doomsday preppers. Doomsday preparers. So that's the day of doom. That's doomsday. So it goes on to say a popular term for a person preparing for the end of the world. And how are the prophets preparing for the end of the world? Well, they getting this knowledge right now. While the evil day come not, they getting this knowledge right now. And that's what's gonna save. That's what's gonna lie. That the knowledge that the prophets are getting right now is gonna keep them stable. All right, in the days to come. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 30 verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thine times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure." So what is going to be the stability in the times of the day of the Lord? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thine times, and strength of salvation. So based on the strength of your salvation, you're going to be able to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. All right, based off the wisdom and knowledge that you obtained to him. Because the Lord said what? In Psalm 91, it says what? Matter of fact, I get it. The Lord said, "I shall give my angels charge over thee to keep thee in my ways." All right. Psalms 91 and 8. It says, Psalms 91 and 11, "For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thine ways." All right. So the Lord is going to make sure that when you work for the Lord's going to make sure that you are taken care of, man. All right. But it said what? One that prepares for the end of the world. How are we preparing for the end of the world? A good example of that is the book of Matthew. All right. Because all the works that we do right now, man, they're being watched. The Lord is carefully watching what we do right now. These videos going on to the highways and the byways, feeding the sheep. All right, how we care for one another. Okay, how we treat each and every brother. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 19. "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal." All right, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal. So how do you lay up treasures in heaven? All right, it says what for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So your mind is going to constantly be focused on laying your treasures up in heaven. Laying your treasures up in heaven is doing good works. All right, and how did we know that? Because people save money, or people save possessions and treasures for a corruptible crown, but thieves can break through and steal. But laying your treasures in heaven, all right, is something totally different. It was a scripture that popped in my head. I'm gonna get it. It went away. This is laying well, this is an example of laying your treasures in heaven. Tobit chapter 4 verse 7. Give alms of thine substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thine eye be envious, neither turn away thine face from any poor, and the face of the Yahweh shall not be turned away from thee. So doing these things is going to put you in the good graces of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So doing these things is laying your treasures in heaven, so that the Lord can have pity on you in the day of His wrath, to keep you from His famine, his destruction. All right. It says, if thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. If thou hast but a little, be not afraid to give according to what to that little. For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity. The day of necessity is when you need the Lord to come for you. See, Lord, I was there for you. Baba Kusha, can you be there for me? And the Lord is not going to neglect you. All right. For look on the generations of old and see, when did ever any trust in the Lord and was forsaken? None, man. All right. It says, because that alms do deliver from death, and suffer not to come into darkness. See, alms deliver from death. So it deliver you from the hand of the fowler, which is a person that lay a trap for you. It delivers you from the hands of your enemy. All right. Doing good deeds, alms deeds. All right. It's another one, 12 and 8. Tobit, 12th chapter, and the 8th verse. It says, prayer is good with fasting and alms, and righteousness. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. See, it's better to give alms. Alms is what? Doing good charity work. All right. Giving brother advice, counsel. He needs something. He needs money to pay a bill. You give it to him out of the kindness of your heart. He needs help. All right. Those are kindness deeds. Teaching your brother, feeding him with knowledge and understanding. That's alms deeds, man. Any way and shape or form, being a brother to your brethren that are in the faith is alms deeds. Doing righteous works is alms deeds. All right. That's better to do alms deeds than to lay up gold. For alms doth deliver from death, and shall purge away all sin. Those that exercise alms and righteousness shall be filled with life. All right. So it says they shall purge away all sin, man. It says charity covers a multitude of sins, man. All right. And that's just one way that we're preparing for doomsday. We're preparing for the end of the world, man. We are preparing for the end of the world. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 29, verse 8. This is an example of what alms deed is. Ecclesiasticus and Apocrypha, chapter 29, verse 8. Yet have thou patience with a man in poor estate, and delay not to show him mercy. It says, help the poor for the commandment's sake, and turn him not away because of his poverty. All right. So you're supposed to help the needy in righteousness, not the needy in wickedness, because there's a lot of needy people out there that's just wicked as all hell. But help the needy in righteousness, man. This is verse 10. Lose thy money for thine brother and thy friend, and let it not rust under a stone to be lost. All right. Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend, and don't store it up. Store it up where moth and rust doth corrupt, and thieves break through and steal. All right. So this is an example of what alms is. Verse 11. Lay up thine treasure according to the commandments of the Most High, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold. All right. It shall bring thee more profit than valuable riches on earth. That's the actual substance, because what the Lord is going to remember you. Shut up alms in thy storehouse, and it shall deliver thee in all affliction. What is that affliction? The end of the world. The end of the world is that affliction. It's going to be a real tough time out here, man. You're going to have to be a man. It's going to be very scary times out here. And we're doing these lessons. We're helping out our brothers. We're doing everything we can to get close and in the grace of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, so you can look upon us in that day. All right. It says, it shall fight for thee against thy enemies, better than a mighty shield and a strong spear. So this is a weapon. This is a weapon that we're using. This is a tactic. All right, what did it say in the definition that I looked up online? It said what? It shall fight better than it shall fight better of thee for thee than a shield and a spear. It says what? A popular term for a person preparing for the end of the world, unique in their beliefs, motivations, and strategies. So what? Strategy is what? A battle plan. You got these doomsday preparers thinking carnally, coming up with battle plans and fortresses. All right, mounting guns on cars, and mounting 50 caliber. It's just they do all of this shit for a corruptible crown, but then the Lord have it miraculously as the Lord is, man. Miraculous as the Lord is, the Lord have them die from a disease, because they don't know it's going to be pestilence out here, man. When you go into the word plagues, one of the words that is disease. So they're gonna fall victim of a disease, and the man of the Lord gonna stumble upon all of their riches that they laid up. All right, I believe that through the Spirit, because what the Lord said, my servant shall eat, and you should be hungry. Lord willing, I get that scripture. But yeah, it said what? Unique in their beliefs. So we are unique in our beliefs because we believe that doing this work is going to deliver us in the days to come, which the scriptures actually say. What does the scripture say about that? Unique in their beliefs. So what's something unique that people looked at as strange? The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, when it says, he that shall be saved by his works. Second Ezra 9:7, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby he hath believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. And that's something that people can't grasp their head around. So you really think standing on a corner talking about the Bible is going to save you from death? Yes, we really do. We are peculiar and unique in our belief. All right, so we are the spiritual doomsday preparers, man. I keep saying preppers. It's like it. Preparers or preppers. Unique in their beliefs. All right, another way we preparing for the end of the world is getting this knowledge while we can, man. I ain't get that scripture. This is a what? What is that? Sirach 5:7. It's Sirach chapter 5 verse 7. It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put out off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy insecurity thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. So we're not putting off day to day. We getting this knowledge while we can. We getting these breakdowns while we can, because we know that there's a famine of the word coming. We know that the government is going to shut down YouTube, and it's going to try its best to cut off connection with other Akim from state to state. All right, we know these things. That's why we're trying to get it while we can, man. And that's one of the biggest ways that we're preparing for the end of the world, man, by getting this knowledge. That's the only way. Practicing in her laws, getting wisdom, that's the only way. Because what? Wisdom and knowledge is stability, or shall be the stability of thine times. But back to the definition, unique in their beliefs. All right, we are unique in our beliefs. We believe the Lord is going to come deliver us. Motivations, and that belief, that faith that we have is our motivation to keep pushing. All right. When I come to think about when it says motivation, I believe the first books that come to mind is the book of Job, chapter 5 and 19. It says what? Chapter 5 and 17. Job 5 and 17. Behold, happy is the man whom God correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastising of the Almighty. So when the Lord corrects you, he helping you grow. All right, he helping you get better. It says, for he maketh sore and bindeth up. So yeah, it's going to feel bad. No chastising feels good, but grievous. But it yields the peaceable fruit, like Hebrews 12 say. All right. It says he wounded and his hands make whole. So yeah, he hurt you. It hurts when you get chastised, man, in the flesh. But your spirit is being renewed. All right. It says he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, in the 7th there shall no evil touch thee. See, in famine he shall redeem thee from death. And we all know the tactics of this devil is a siege. He's going to besiege the city. Nothing goes in, nothing comes out, which means there's going to be a famine in the land. But like I said, man, the Lord is going to work miracles for the Akim, for the people that believed in his name, all right, and did the work to back up that belief. All right. It says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. It says, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid in the destruction when it cometh. It says, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth. Why? Because we're going to be in league with the beast. All right, and it says, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and with the beast of the field thou shalt be at peace with thee. So the Lord is going to keep us, man. All right, we have all the stories and the accounts of the scriptures to back that up, man. The prophets are back today, and the same thing the Lord did for the prophets back then, he's going to do for the prophets today. All right, just like in the book of Kings when Elisha was with the young man, the young prophet, and he got scared because they was encompassed around about in the enemy, and Elisha prayed that the boy's eyes be opened, the young man's eyes be opened, and then the Lord opened his eyes, and he saw that there were chariots of the Lord, man. Chariots of the Lord was surrounding them. We gotta be Baba Kushah. I hope I be in that same mindset, man. Chariots of the Lord are surrounded about me, and I can't see them, but they got me. And even if I do perish, my fight is over. I've ran my course. All right. But there's another one in the book of Psalms when I think about motivation. These is our motive. We want to be delivered, man. This is our motivation. It's the book of Psalms, 38, 18. Uh, 36. 35. Is it Psalms? I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. It says, I, Lord, death. Okay, that's not it. Fear. 33. Psalms 33, verse 15. Is it 15? 18, Slakia. Psalms 33, verse 18. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon him that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death, and to keep them alive in famine. See, the Lord is and what's the fear of the Lord, man? The performance of the law. You actually got to do and work towards it. That's why we're going to be saved by our works and by our faith. All right, by our faith in the Lord and by our works, and our works increase our faith. The more often you do the work of the Lord, the more your faith increase. Let's go back to the definition. Because what they saying is, man, what they saying in the definition is carnal, but I'm likening it to the scriptures, which is so cold, through the spirit of power Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. But it says strategies, and we are strategic with this word. We're strategic about how we implement this word in our day-to-day lives. That we all got things going on. We need to work. We need to provide for our families. We need to provide for ourselves, provide for the Akim, pay our tithes. All right, we all got to work. So how we fit this truth in, because the truth is first and foremost in our life. How we fit everything else into the truth is strategic. All right, and that's doing the work, man. That's part of the work. Making time for your life when you doing lessons, man. You gotta do lessons. All right. I say that because, man, the truth is first and foremost in our life, but we actually gotta fit time in for our wives and our children. All right, we gotta fit time in to go to work and to pay bills. We gotta fit time into being with Akim. All right, that takes strategy. That takes time management, which is strategic. We're flexible with our time, and we manage it. We manage it diligently. It says preppers go to any lengths to make sure they are prepared for any of life's uncertainties. And how are we preparing for that? By all the scriptures I just got, man. The Lord is gonna be in control of that. And let me close up with the one I quoted, one of my favorites pertaining to the end of the world, man. What is it? It's Isaiah 66. Uh, 65. It gotta be 60. Let me say servant. Eat. 65:13. Slocky. It's Isaiah chapter 65, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. It says, behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. All right. But yeah, man, the Lord is gonna have us eating that day because what we served Him in our leisure time. We didn't put off from day to day. All right, we served Him while we had the opportunity to. All right, and I hope this lesson was edifying, man. The Wadi Habashim Shah for allowing me to do this lesson and defeat the elect of Israel. And until next time, I'll say Shalom.